Good morning. So welcome back to another Raw Talk, another 10x Talk, as the series is called. And I've come to the realization that in order for these Raw Talks, these 10x Talks to be the best, I have to be in a certain zone which 99% of people, even in the self-improvement space, are not willing to go to. Because when I'm in a zone where I'm just living discipline, work, gym, and just living that extreme lifestyle where I really go into this tunnel vision essentialism, just focusing on laser focus and living this extreme lifestyle where, I wake up at 3 a.m. sometimes, 3:30, 4 a.m. When I live a lifestyle like that, that's when I can really speak the most passionately. That's really when I can speak with the most conviction and the most, that's when the deep thoughts really creep into my mind. And that's exactly why I can speak so well about it in those times. And don't get me wrong, I've still been working really hard and really good over the past couple weeks. But instead of, going to that extreme level, I've been kind of sitting around 5 a.m. And the work I've been able to do and the impact that I've been able to make is great. It's honestly been probably the best it's ever been. And that's because of consistency, which is constantly driving me upwards. But in order for me to make these videos specifically, only these videos and my tunnel vision mindset the best, I need to go more extreme. So don't get me wrong, I'm not slacking right now, but I know that I can go to a level which is beyond where I'm at right now. I know my frequency can be way better. I know these videos can be made with more passion because I need to hold myself to a higher standard if I want to be able to impact all of you the most, especially with these Raw Talks. If I want to put out the best Raw Talks possible, if I want to put out the best thoughts with the best advice, with the best and the deepest, most almost philosophical way of thinking, I need to dive deeper into my brain and really fetch the deepest fucking thoughts. And the way to do that is by simply living that lifestyle of extreme, discipline. Now, when you hear this, you might be thinking, bro, what about balance, right? What about balance? People always talk about balance when it comes to this, and I kind of use it as an excuse of he doesn't live balanced. You're out of balance. You should always be in balance. But fuck that. Whoever tells you balance is the most important thing, unless you're 70 years old, retired, you've worked for 50 years, unless you're there where you are starting to walk slower because you're getting too old and you and your wife both have gray hair, unless you're that describes you, balance shouldn't even be in the picture. Because, I'm assuming you're somewhere around 20 years old, you're working on your goals, and you want to get to a higher level. And in order to get there, what you need to do is focus on getting there. You have to be able to put your focus on something. So that ultimately, that already means you're not in balance. And for me, in order to get to such a high standard, there is no balance. And where I want to get to, there is no balance anyway. I don't want to live a balanced life, because when you live a balanced life, there isn't that much real passion. When you live and operate with real passion and discipline and perseverance and constantly looking for ways to improve in that area of life, passion isn't a word that, comes up. In order for me to impact all of you, I have to hold myself accountable to such a high standard where I'm not only holding myself accountable, but I'm also holding all of you accountable. And I just want to say real quick, we're at 13,000 subscribers now and almost 2,000 followers on Instagram. And I just want to say I'm really grateful to be in the position that I'm in. I'm really grateful that I'm self-sufficient, that I've been able to monetize what I do while making an impact to all of you. And I just want to say, if you're watching this, I'm genuinely grateful that you're watching this. And I really genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, hope that my videos can have a positive impact on your life. And that's ultimately the goal. Right? Because I know if I serve you, if I provide value and information and motivation and inspiration to you, the mirror of my reality will also reflect that back to me. And I appreciate every single one of you guys sending me DMs, giving me, these warm messages that I'm doing I'm doing a good job. That genuinely makes me feel good. And having a channel that's a little bit starting to grow, starting to get bigger, starting to make more impact. I can only look back at myself from a year ago, trying to work hard, waking up really early, actually kind of living a similar lifestyle. Except the feedback I got then, the amount of views, the amount of people impacted was so much lower. I'm talking, I put in all this work, I woke up at 4, and then my video still got 30 views with 1 like, And that's really what it is. You have to be able to operate even without results, because you have to realize it's more than that. You have to realize you're part of a process, and you know your reality, and you know that eventually when you change your frequency, when you change your habits, eventually the mirror must reflect who you are. So if you're putting in certain work and the mirror is still the same, your reality still hasn't changed, all you've got to do is continue doing what you're doing, because it takes a little bit of time before that mirror reflects who you are, reflects you. It's inevitable. If you change your frequency, if you change your actions, your habits, your beliefs, and your standards, basically comes down to your habits and your standards. When you change them, the mirror must reflect you. So if you're looking in the mirror right now, and that might sound a little, just hear me out. If you're looking in the mirror right now, the mirror of life, and you're waiting for something to change, you want to change, you want to improve, and you're just waiting there, thinking about your goals, dreaming away about your goals, the mirror won't change. The mirror only changes when you change, when your beliefs change, when your habits change. That's when the mirror also reflects something differently, because it reflects you. I've learned about this whole mirror world principle in the book Reality Transurfing, and I recommend every single one of you guys to read that book or listen to that book as I'm doing. And I've actually ordered it online as well last night, so I'm going to be able to actually read the physical version soon. But it talks about shaping your reality, raising your standards, being aware, but also shaping your reality through your internal state. Your habits, your beliefs, your standards. You can set new standards for yourself, and if the people around you don't have the goals that you have, then you shouldn't be doing what they're doing. If your parents and your friends are overweight, obviously their standards are not the ones that you should be holding up for yourself, right? It makes sense. Obviously, if everyone is making an average amount of money, but you want to be a millionaire or whatever, right? Obviously, you can't live the life that they're living, because if you want to get something that you've never had, you have to do something that you've never done. We've all heard this quote, right? But it's true to life, and it's about that frequency. I just want to say, if you really want to make a change, I want you to write down where you want to be at in 365 days, in 1 year, in 52 weeks, in 12 months. It's 1 year. Take out a piece of paper and just for 5 minutes, write down a couple points of who you want to be, and then also just a couple points of what it takes for you to get there, what your lifestyle should look like to get there. I want you to describe the type of person that you will be. Waking up early in the morning, pushing through struggle, constantly finding drive and motivation and discipline, even when he doesn't feel like it. Looking in the mirror and seeing a fucking ripped six-pack abs. Having breakfast and eating clean foods, feeling better than ever, training hard, pushing heavy weights or running far distances. All these things describe the person that you want to be, and that way you will describe what it takes to get there. All right? So you might notice, I'm going to be real honest with you guys here. This talk has been a little bit of a struggle for me, because when these 10x talks were at their peak, I was living a more extreme lifestyle, especially because it was winter, and in the winter everyone sleeps in a little bit more, but I was up especially early back then. And I just want you guys to realize that I acknowledge that I will go back to that standard, because I don't rise to the level of my ambitions. I fall to the level of my standards. And right now my standards are wake up at around 5. Back then, it was a dog fight against, can I wake up half an hour earlier? Can I wake up at 3? I got addicted to that feeling of waking up so early and waking up and struggling, but really still pushing through that. I got addicted to that struggle and that conquering of my struggles. And that's where I will go back to. That's where I will raise my standards, change my frequency, and in that way, change the mirror, change what my reality is, so these videos will be better. I hope this video has impacted you in great ways, and I hope that what I've said makes sense. Maybe I got a little philosophical, but that's totally fine, right? So, yeah. Dreams don't work unless you do. And once again, I want to say I've been really grateful to be in this position where I can work on my goals and impact all of you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Dreams don't work unless you do, so fucking work for it. Let's go.